How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We finally met.
Yes, finally. Thank God after all the phone conversations that we've had.
I know we talked on the phone multiple times, and now we're finally getting to see each other.
Yes, finally.
So I see that you have your consent form with you.
I do.
Yes, I have to turn this into my professor.
Great.
Okay, you signed it and dated. Thank you so much. Well, I know you went over the consent form, but I'm just going to briefly go over with you again as your rights as a client.
Yes.
This is a voluntary process that you have agreed to participate in. I am enrolled in Dr. Morrison's Intro to Mental Health Counseling Techniques course, and I am under her direct supervision, and she will be the only one viewing this recording. The information provided by you today is strictly confidential, as required by law. The expectations to the confidentiality are threats to harm yourself or others, reported, suspected abuse or neglect to minors or adults, and court orders. So basically what that's saying is, as long as you aren't telling me that you're going to harm yourself or the lives of others, or you tell me about any abuse or neglect, I don't have to report it. My professor's going to go over all of this, and she's going to go over this to help me help you.
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
So
Great.
Everything is signed, and as the bottom of this says, after the completion of this counseling session, all records will be destroyed.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
All right, let's begin. Right. Now tell me, Joni, what brings you in today?
I'm going through a divorce with my husband, and it's a very bad divorce. There's been a lot of domestic violence in this divorce. There's been custody battles along with this divorce. There's been a lot of issues with my 15-year-old daughter, Kierany. So it's a really bad divorce that we're going through.
Okay. And how long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 4 years now.
Okay. Do you have any idea how all of this began?
Well, it all began, my husband occasionally liked to discipline Kierany, my 15-year-old daughter, in very abusive ways. It all started that she had some clothes in the floor at our home, and he wanted her to get the clothes up, and she was doing her laundry, so he started throwing her clothes away. So when he started throwing her clothes away, they were arguing, and he pushed her down on the floor, and he started beating her, and then he held a knife in front of her throat.
Okay.
And we called the police, and he was arrested. Then after that, of course, he was upset because he had went to jail for 3 days for domestic violence, for child abuse, and 2 felony batteries against her and I, because he hit me as well. Okay. So when he got out, he was upset, and he constantly started abusing her. DCF had got involved. They came and talked to her. I had to fill out injunctions to keep him away to protect Kierany and my 3-year-old daughter.
Okay.
After that, he started hiding in the house. We don't know what he was going to do to Kierany. He would hide his car. He would hide in the house from her. And she would go to the restroom, and a little head would come out, and she would run out the house. He's cut up her clothes. He's hit me. I've taken out injunctions, 7 injunctions out on him. He's locked us out of the house several times. We've had to live in hotels. He has taken my car away from me, so I have no transportation to take my kids to school. He's took the clothes, and he just tied the clothes up to the tree. He's even bought food for him and Aniston, the baby, and not fed her. So that's and then the custody battle, he would take my 3-year-old daughter, he would pick her up from daycare, and he wouldn't bring her back to me for 14 days. He wouldn't answer his phone calls. I would call the police. They would tell me he had just as more rights than I did because there's not a court order in place. He would take her for 9 days. He would take her for 10 days, and I wouldn't know where she was.
So basically what I'm hearing today is that you're going through a very bad divorce.
Yes.
And from what it sounds like that Kierany, your 15-year-old daughter, is not your husband's daughter.
Correct.
That your 3-year-old daughter is his daughter.
Correct. Okay.
And basically it's just been a battle between the two of them that has caused a lot of friction and tension in your household between you and your husband, and that's what led to the divorce.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, tell me, Joni, how does this typically make you feel?
It's very hurtful that my daughter has to go through this, and it makes me feel very frightened a lot. I mean, the divorce, I think, is it's the best thing for us right now, because I have to protect her. I have to protect myself. I have to protect Aniston. You know, we've been to counseling, and the counseling just did not work for us.
Okay, that was my next question. Actually, I was going to ask you, have you seen counseling before? So you have. So tell me, how did it work out?
It didn't work out. I mean, the counselor that we went to, she was more of a fighter. She wanted me to fight my husband back verbally, or to do things that she felt would stop him. Whatever he did, she wanted me to do it back to him. And I just didn't feel that that was the right thing. It was never anything positive. It was nothing. She just wanted me to basically fight back, and I didn't want that. I was trying to make peace and to try to save my family, but she just did not want to do that. She thought I should fight back.
So what I'm getting from this is that out of everything that you guys were going through, you still felt like there was hope. So you decided to go and seek counseling, but the counselor, you didn't feel like she was for you. You felt like she was more of, you know, she was trying to fight against she was trying to help you fight against your husband. And am I feeling like a bit of negativity coming from that way?
Yeah, she was very negative about even the marriage. I was telling her how bad I wanted to save my family, and she was more or less like, no, you know, he's intentionally torturing you and the girls. You know, she wanted me to leave the home with the girls. She wanted me to do things to him. You know, go in there and say this to him on this day, or say that to him, or call and say this. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted more or less peace.
Okay.
So that's how that went.
Okay. How is this affecting your children?
It's affecting them a lot. I mean,
tell me how.
Kearney, well, you know, of course, you know, she's in school. She's having a lot of chest pain. She's not able to focus. Aniston is having a lot of breakdowns at school, and I have spoken with her dad about the breakdowns that she do have at school, where she's falling on the floor. She's constantly crying, and she sees a lot that goes on with with my husband and I. She, you know, she sees the fussing. She sees him locking us out the house. She sees him chasing my daughter down the street. She see him like running out of my car, throwing rocks at my car. So it's affecting them a lot.
So it's basically not a good sight for them.
No, it's not a good sight at all.
I can only imagine how traumatized your children probably are.
They're very traumatized.
How traumatized are you?
Oh, very. To where I cannot even, I don't know how much I can take at this point. To now I'm having anxiety attacks. I'm not able to function at work, and I have to have a clear mind for the type of work that I do.
What do you do?
I'm a licensed practical nurse. Yeah.
How long have you been in LPN?
14 years.
Okay, just about as long as you had your oldest daughter.
That's right.
Okay. And how long have you and your husband been married again, you said?
4 years, and we've been together almost 9 years.
Okay. Oh, so you guys have known each other quite some time.
Yes.
I'm sorry, just excuse me. I'm just trying to get some information down. So tell me, how is everything going with the divorce? What is the status?
The divorce is really a lot going on right now. We went to mediation. It did not go well. They wanted me to agree to something that I feel that was not right. I felt I was being pressured, so I did not agree to anything. My husband was not being the nicest person while we were at mediation. It's not going well. We're still battling the custody for the girls. For Aniston, there's still no financial help. Nothing's going well right now with the divorce.
So what I see is that even with everything that's going on, you're still trying to make a way, but you're not getting any support, any feedback from your husband.
I'm not really trying to make a way with him. Is that what you're meaning? Like,
I mean, as far as you're still trying to just make peace.
Exactly. I'm trying to make peace
for Aniston.
For the Aniston.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I see that you're still trying to make peace for Aniston, but it's not coming from him. It's not coming from his direction. It's still a battle from his direction.
Exactly.
Why do you think that he's fighting so hard?
I think that he's just very bitter about being arrested still, and that happened in 2014. he doesn't see really the big picture of that Anderson needs to be stable and she needs to have a mind. She needs to live as a child, not in trauma or drama all the time. I think he just wants to fight. I think this is what he wants for the rest of his life. He's not trying to make any peace at all.
So you and the girls, are you guys living in the house still?
No, I moved out because he kept constantly locking us out the house. So we did not have a home. We lived in a hotel for 2 months. So I end up getting a place for us.
Okay. How far away are you guys from him?
We're about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes away. And I noticed that you stated earlier that he took your car away from you.
Yes. I went to the daycare to pick up my daughter. He had already had her for 14 days. He finally returned her back to the daycare on January 27th. And when I went to the daycare, I noticed that there was a tow truck waiting at the daycare, and I didn't even think anything about it. When I went inside the daycare, the tow truck took my car. My purse was in the car, everything, my ID, my credit cards, everything was in the purse. Mm-hmm. So Anderson and I come out, we're stranded. My husband hired someone illegally to come and tow my car. So Anderson and I have no transportation.
And I remember so with the divorce and everything that's going on with the divorce, I do know about, how you guys have the legal property, joint custody, things of that nature. How was he able to take your vehicle?
He wasn't. He did it on his own.
Okay.
So right now I'm trying to seek, legal advice to see what they can possibly do so that he can return the car.
Okay. And you have a lawyer and everything.
I do have an attorney, yes. Okay.
So tell me, what is your plan B?
Well, my plan B, and I feel that it's best for me and the kids and for the safety of us. Most of my family is in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And I am praying that we will be able to go back there and just get a fresh start, mm-hmm. and so that we can start over. Nice. Mm-hmm. And the kids, they can have a fresh start as well. I think that's the best right now. So, and then we will also be safe.
Okay. So basically, your main focus is the safety of you and your children, and you feel like the only way you and your two girls will be safe if you guys just up and leave. Exactly. And go back to where your family is.
Yes.
Family support is always great. So are you originally from South Carolina?
Yes, that's where I'm originally from.
And where did you and your husband meet, if you don't mind me asking?
We met, my brother got married. My husband played basketball overseas. He was really big in basketball in college, and then he supposedly went to the NBA, but he had a shoulder rotator cuff. And my brother was playing for UCF, and they met each other. So my brother got married in South Carolina, and my husband and my brother became very close friends, and my husband.
So, Johnny, have you seek medical attention for you and your children, with the amount of chest pain you were telling me Kearney was experiencing and all the anxiety you were experiencing?
For Kearney, I did take her to see her pediatrician, mm-hmm. and after I've known her pediatrician for 3 years now, and her pediatrician, we have a very close relationship with each other, so I explained mm-hmm. to her what we were going through, mm-hmm. and immediately she came to the conclusion that it was possibly panic attacks, concerning this situation that we're going through. Mm-hmm. She did schedule for her to have a CT scan, but due to with me now being a single parent, working late hours, I cannot get Kearney to have a CT scan done. And also he's taking my car, so I'm very limited to where I go because I now have to get someone to take us everywhere.
And what about the anxiety you said that you were facing?
By me being a nurse, I just try to, take deep breaths. I mean, the anxiety is bad. I really don't want to get on any medication right now because of the type of work that I do, mm-hmm. With taking anxiety medication. So I just try to take one day at a time. Eventually, when I do get transportation, I will be able to, go to the doctor and also take Kearney and get her CAT scans done, so we can kind of see what's going on really if this continues, because we don't want it to get worse and then something else happens.
What about counseling? Have you considered trying counseling for you and Kearney again?
I would love to do counseling again, but again, there's no transportation with my busy schedule. We really do need to do counseling, but right now with everything going on, and I just can't. I'm a single parent, so I would love to try it again with someone else, and maybe with the new person who I do choose, that they could be able to help us.
So basically, I guess what I'm getting from this is that you want to get the help, you're trying to get the help, but because you're a single parent now and it's just so much going on, and it's like everything is on you now, so it's like you're overwhelmed with everything that's going on.
I'm very overwhelmed, and also the transportation. I don't have a car anymore because you remember he took the car from the daycare.
Correct.
So he has not returned the car, so I have to go to court about getting the car back.
Okay. What is the best thing that you've learned from this situation that you're going through?
I've learned that dealing with this has really opened my eyes that what's most important is my kids, and that they do not need to be in a domestic violence home. They need to be protected. I should not have to worry about them and their safety, and them being in a home with good parents is very important. Mm-hmm.
Can you see yourself working things out with Junior, or?
Right now, Junior and I's marriage is basically damaged. There's no hope. At one point, I thought there was hope. It's a lot of damage that has been done. Everyone has been hurt. I just don't see it would take us starting from scratch, not even knowing each other. Mm-hmm. So, no, I don't think that there's anything that can be done to put our family back together at this point. Okay. And all he's done to my kids, I just don't think that it's a great environment
for them to live in.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what about, I guess I want to say, you guys are going through the divorce, so everything is a court order now, correct?
It's not a court order right now. Mm-hmm. We are hoping to get a court order, but right now we can't even come to any agreements.
Okay, yes. That's what I was getting to. I guess my next question was going to be, so can you see you guys trying to work things out without a court order, or you don't see that happening at this time?
No, he does not want to work anything out. He doesn't follow orders anyways. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to have to go to trial, mm-hmm. and a judge is going to have to make a decision at this point.
And Joni, what do you expect to gain from this session and future sessions if you do decide to return?
I'm looking to gain knowledge to help me learn how to deal with anxiety I have felt during this process. I honestly feel I have lost my girl's trust. I want to be able to gain that trust back that I lost from my daughter. I remember Kearney coming to me and crying and saying, "Mommy, when are you going to do something?" Mm-hmm. Really, when my husband went to jail for 3 days, I should have left. Not even that time, even when the first time he actually put his hands on me when I was pregnant, mm-hmm. I should have left then. Tatiana, I feel that this was a great session. After speaking with you today, I feel this is the best thing for Kearney. I would like to schedule further sessions one-on-one with you for Kearney, and also family sessions as well if you have the availability.
Well, thank you so much, Joni. I'm so glad that this worked out for you today. I enjoyed speaking with you. I enjoyed hearing your story. I feel like I can be a great help to you and your family. I'm sorry about what you're going through, but I will be here for you, especially if you need me. I think we did great today. You did an awesome job. I know it has to be hard, mm-hmm. being able to sit down and talk about all of this. It has mm-hmm. to be rough. It has to be hard. I do know situations where people get teary-eyed, and mm-hmm. it's you're a good woman. You're very strong. You were able to sit here today, and I can tell based off of everything that we talked about and from what I've jotted down that you're a strong mother, and you really just want the best for you and your girls.
I definitely do.
So thank you so much for meeting with me today.
You did a great job.